It was a sunny afternoon when Raito's stomach growled like a roaring lion. "Shiro," Raito said, clutching his belly, "I need food. But not the everyday kind. I want something explosive." Shiro, his best friend, who was sitting nearby playing a video game, smiled and replied, "You always want something different. Come on, let's see what today holds for you." Just then, their gaming console screen began to glow. A magical message appeared on it. "You have unlocked the magical food mall. Do you wish to enter?" They were just about to look at each other in shock when, poof! A bright light flashed all around. The next moment, they found themselves in a fantastical, strange new world. They were standing at the entrance of a gigantic magical food mall, a mall where everything looked good enough to eat. The floor sparkled with chocolate tiles. The walls were made of waffle cones, topped with syrup and colorful sprinkles. And the air was filled with the mouth-watering aroma of fresh donuts and sizzling cheesy pizza. Raito's eyes widened as he exclaimed, "Is this real?" Shiro laughed and said, "If this is a dream, I never want to wake up." First stop, Pizza Planet. The journey began at Pizza Planet, a dazzling, rocket-shaped restaurant nestled at the edge of the galaxy's tastiest asteroid belt. Outside, a neon sign blazed with glowing pepperoni and twinkling mozzarella stars, calling out to hungry travelers from light years away. The moment they stepped inside, the air was thick with the aroma of melting cheese and crispy crust. Every kind of pizza imaginable was here. Rainbow cheese pizza that shimmered like a prism, emoji-shaped slices that winked when lifted, and even sweet, chocolate pizza dripping with strawberry jam. Raito's eyes lit up as he looked at the menu. "Shiro, this one has French fries inside the crust." Shiro scrunched his nose with a laugh and picked up a slice. Only you would get this excited about fries in space. They loaded up their trays and found a seat by the window, where distant stars sparkled, like glitter scattered on black velvet. They dug in happily, sauce smudging their cheeks as bubbles of laughter filled the air. Then, just as Raito reached for a second rainbow slice, a strange rumble came from the pizza oven. Rumble. The floor trembled slightly. The walls gave a little shake. The pepperoni disco ball dangling above them flickered and dimmed. Then, with a loud ding, the oven door flew open, and out leapt a pizza slice with big googly eyes, tiny olive legs, and a small, shrieking mouth. "Don't eat me!" Before anyone could react, the slice sprang off the tray and bolted across the restaurant, darting between chairs, knocking over sauce bottles, and leaving behind a shimmering trail of cheese. Raito dropped his tray. Was that slice talking? Shiro's eyes widened. "It's running, Raito. We have to catch it." And so began the chase, weaving through laughing aliens and floating garlic breadsticks, skimming past the whooshing soda fountains, and into the kitchen where stunned chefs dropped handfuls of dough in shock. The runaway slice zipped around like a little comet, its googly eyes wide with fear. Whatever magic, or madness, Pizza Planet held, one thing was certain. This was no ordinary pit stop. And Raito and Shiro's real adventure was just beginning. Next stop, Burger Bounce. Their dash brought them to a world they had never seen before, a giant trampoline park made entirely of enormous burger buns. The air was rich with the scent of grilled patties and melted cheese. With every bounce, waves rippled through the sky, soaked in tomato sauce, while floating clouds above drizzled red droplets like rain. Shiro jumped in without hesitation. "Wahoo! Extra sauce!" he shouted, leaping onto a cheeseburger trampoline. The burger squished under him, then launched him high into the air. He soared past a flying tomato slice and landed right into a ketchup fountain, splashing everywhere. Laughing, Shiro wiped off his glasses. All around them, burgers were flipping midair. Pickles spun like flying frisbees. Lettuce leaves floated down like colorful confetti. Each bounce seemed to defy gravity and logic. After a few more thrilling jumps, they finally reached the mischievous pizza slice that had brought them here. It drifted down from a bacon-scented cloud, slowly twirling, and landed gently in front of them. "You've passed the test," it said with a cheeky grin. "Now it's time for the next flavor level." Then it handed them a glowing jelly bean, pulsing with rainbow light, and vanished into the sizzling sky in the blink of an eye. The boys looked at each other, hearts pounding. What would the next world of flavors be like? They didn't know, but they were ready. It all began in the heart of the Whispering Woods, where the trees hummed lullabies and fireflies blinked in secret codes. This is where Raito and Shiro discovered a moss-covered statue, shaped like a smiling raccoon. Its eyes had an unusual glint, and in its paw was a glowing slot, softly pulsing with light. It was shaped exactly like the jelly bean they had received from that old vending machine, the one that dispensed riddles instead of snacks. As soon as they placed the jelly bean into the slot, the ground gave a slight tremble. With a shimmer of smoke, the statue split in two, revealing a spiral staircase leading down into the earth. Without hesitation, because curiosity is often stronger than fear, both of them descended. The air below was cool and sweet. They stepped into a cave so vast, it felt as though stars themselves had come to rest there. Scoops of ice cream floated through the air like colorful moons, blue and pink orbs spinning gently, some sparkling, some crackling with tiny bursts of light. They were spellbound. The cave walls were made of sugar crystals, softly glowing. Chocolate syrup dripped from the ceiling. And among the floating scoops hung little nameplates on invisible threads, each with a flavor name. Bubblegum Galaxy, filled with tiny candy stars, Cotton Candy Swirl, twirling like soft clouds, Cookie Volcano, occasionally erupting cookie crumbs, and the most mysterious one, Mystery Flavor 404. It changed every time you blinked. One moment a purple root beer scent, the next a fizzy rainbow sherbet sparkle. Raito grabbed a scoop and took a taste, and suddenly, his feet began to lift off the ground. "Oh, it's a flying flavor," he yelled, spinning gently in the air, his laughter echoing around the cave. Shiro, never one to be left behind, grabbed 2 scoops at once. Whoosh! He shot through the air like a shooting star, soaring between the floating scoops, leaving a trail of glowing mist behind him. They laughed, floated, chased flavors, and played among the drifting scoops. Somewhere deep within the cave, the walls pulsed like a heartbeat, as if calling them forward, toward yet another delicious mystery. And the jelly bean slot. It had vanished. Only marshmallow-like footprints remained, leading deeper into the glowing, sugary cave. This wasn't an ordinary dessert place. It was the beginning of a swirling, sweet mystery. Candy Town and the Gummy King. Raito and Shiro stared in awe as they entered Candy Town. The air was filled with the sweet scent of strawberries and melted sugar, and jellybean cars zoomed along sticky toffee roads. Lollipop lampposts glowed softly, casting rainbow-colored light across marshmallow sidewalks. Everything sparkled, everything shimmered, and yet, something felt off. The streets were eerily quiet. Colorful gummy bears stood frozen in place, as if time had suddenly stopped mid-step. They looked like glass statues, motionless, breathless. At the center of the town, upon a grand throne made of thick black licorice, sat the Gummy King. A golden crown of caramel, slightly crooked, rested on his head, and his sugar-coated hands twisted nervously in his lap. His gummy eyes, once bright with sweetness, were now dim and worried. The candy core is missing. The Gummy King's voice trembled like jelly. Without it, the magic that keeps Candy Town from melting will vanish. Soon, everything will turn into syrup. Raito clenched his fists. We won't let that happen. Shiro, already scanning the distant skies, nodded sharply. Let's save the sweets. A faint glimmer of hope sparkled in the Gummy King's eyes. The last time it shone, he said, it was seen in the sour swamp. But beware, the licorice shadows are lurking there. Without wasting a second, Raito and Shiro dashed down the peppermint path, fire in their hearts, sweetness in the air. Candy Town was calling, and they wouldn't let it melt. The final snack puzzle. The journey through Sweetlands had been long, thrilling, and full of sugary surprises. But now, they stood before their ultimate challenge. A colossal vending machine unlike anything they had ever seen before. It sparkled under the sherbet-stained sunlight, its glassy body housing 3 unusual slots, each shaped like a special snack. A donut with pink frosting, a jelly bean key, and a golden French fry. One of these, they already had, the shimmering jelly bean key, which they'd earned in the licorice labyrinth after a clever trade with the marshmallow merchant. But the other two, still missing. Clues led them in two directions, one high into the sky, and the other toward a distant, fizzing hill. The donut, they discovered, was hidden inside a sprinkle storm cloud, a moody cloud drifting among cotton candy skies. They climbed the whipped cream hill and launched themselves upward using gumdrop balloons. It wasn't easy. Rainbow sprinkles rained down like hail, and the donut zipped around like a hummingbird. But with teamwork, and a sticky toffee slingshot, they finally caught the flying donut. Next, they descended into Fizzing Valley, where the final snack was hidden. Amid bubbling soda geysers, they found it, glowing in the claws of a sleeping soda dragon. The dragon breathed sweet, sherbet-scented air, with every breath blowing fizzy bubbles into the sky. Instead of waking it, they came up with a sweet plan. They sang a sugar cube lullaby, gently placing sparkling sugar cubes while humming softly. The dragon smiled in its sleep, and its grip loosened. Carefully, they took the golden French fry from its claws. It was still warm and crispy. Back at the vending machine, they placed each item into its matching slot. First the donut, then the jelly bean key, and finally the French fry. For a moment, everything was still. Then, click! A soft chime rang out, and the glass doors slowly slid open like curtains, revealing something glowing ahead, a radiant orb filled with shimmering candy colors. The candy core, the heart of Sweetlands, and the sweet, shining reward at the end of their adventure. With the treasure of flavor in hand, Raito and Shiro raced back to the heart of the sugar spiral forest, where the Gummy King was waiting for them. As soon as they returned the legendary flavor crystal, the world around them began to change. The sky lit up. Puffy white clouds turned into swirls of pink and blue cotton candy. A gentle breeze blew through the air, carrying the scent of fresh caramel. The gummy bears, once frozen in worry, now danced with joy, their squishy feet bouncing to the rhythm of the Candy Kingdom. Above them, glittering candy confetti rained down, melting like sugar snowflakes on their skin. Then, something rustled in a nearby marshmallow bush. Pop! Out leapt Bitsy, their pixelated arcade sidekick, in her usual glitchy and cheerful style. Her digital eyes sparkled with excitement. Congratulations, food heroes, she cheered, twirling in the air like a jelly bean tornado. But remember, there are still more flavors waiting to be found. Raito and Shiro looked at each other and smiled. In their hands were trays bigger than their heads, frosted rolls, rainbow flan, and parfaits stacked so high they looked like towers of dessert. But it didn't feel heavy. They had saved an entire kingdom. This feast was well earned. Suddenly, the world gave a soft tremble. A glowing wave rippled out from the crystal, touching everything. The sky flickered like an old arcade screen. Next level, dessert dimension, unlocked. The words shimmered in the clouds like icing on the sky. Somewhere far away, a door creaked open, dripping with syrup and filled with mystery. And in that moment, one thing was clear. The journey wasn't over. Not yet. Did you enjoy this fun and sugary adventure? Then hit like, subscribe, and join Raito and Shiro next time, in the dessert dimension.